Folks changing like the weather, cold, wind, and all around. Toxic people being severed, like leaves falling in September. Cold, wet, and on the ground. You can cut me down, but I won't stay for long. I'll grow back again. Oh yeah, my roots are strong.
Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night. Race all of these broken dreams in flight. And we'll fly. Up here, we're free, bound only by frozen memories, lost in time, racing all these broken dreams tonight, and we'll fly.
right, welcome back, everybody. It's finally here. The Talon Cup 2019 Grand Finals are upon us. We've got two excellent teams here ready to display their Overwatch prowess for our amusement. That makes them sound like animals. That's not what I mean. You know what I mean. Toxic Crocs here. Oh, actually, before I get into the teams, my name is San Phoenix, as you should know by now. I'm joined once again by Cloudburst.
Hello there, son. Happy to be here for the grand finals. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, my dude just sweeps in to snipe the big games at the end, hey? But anyway, let's not dwell on that. We do have our two finalists here. Toxic Crocs fought their way through Group 1, managed to just barely sneak through and get second place there. Also managed to beat a team in the semifinals. I really should have the screen open before I start talking, but I'm actually an amateur, so please don't hold it against me. Toxic Crocs
come on, son.
beating Poggy
You can do
Woggy.
better than this.
Yeah, beating Poggy Woggy in the in their semifinal 3-1, punching their ticket to the grand finals. Yeah, Alweer, Geboelie, the other team on the other side, topping Group 1. Both of these teams, in fact, this is a rematch. Beating Mango Juice just barely in the second semi-final, punching their ticket to the finals. This should be a banger. Cloudburst.
Yeah, I can only expect the best from this. Looking at the lineups, of course, Alweer Geboelie is not going to be the lineup that you expect. Condi does have his actual team practice, and instead he is being subbed out for Aquatic. So both of them very good DPS. I know it's going to be quite sad not having Condi on the roster, but let's see what they can do without him. I know that the rest of the lineup is pretty stacked. This is this is a really good team, and I'm keen to see it, especially the new names. There's a few new names I haven't seen before here.
Yeah, it actually on both teams, Goliath Gaming team practice ruining our competition here, as Fluffy also spirited away on a journey with Goliath Gaming. So Blur, the super sub, stepping in for them in that support role. A role he's not really known
Now
for, but
arriving at
I'm sure he'll be
Lijiang
fine.
Tower.
He's a pretty talented individual. So our first map here will be Lijiang Tower. Interested to see, by the way, Sanchin, who was originally meant to be
Initiating
part of this
match.
team, playing his first match for the team he was assigned to. So that's awesome
Oh,
to see.
yeah,
Let's
that's
see
gonna be
how,
awesome to see.
yeah, let's see if he can step it up in the finals here. And otherwise, mostly the same, other than Aquatic stepping in for Condi, like you've already mentioned.
So, I mean, of course, for anyone who is not aware, the Talon Cup that is produced from ZA Overwatch, the way that the tournament works when it's created is everybody's skill rating from their competitive history is pulled together and teams are averaged out so that we have some nice and fair matches so that experienced players can impart their knowledge on less experienced
Ready
players
for
and we can
battle.
get a really good community tournament together. And so far from what I've seen, it has been absolutely amazing. If you
Yeah,
go
it
back
really
and
has.
yeah, if you go back and check out the VOD for the third place match, which Mango Juice took, that was an awesome series. But over onto this now, Sun, Lijiang Tower Control Center, what do you think about this?
Well, I mean, it should be a pretty good match here. We're seeing Reinhardt, he's been really popular on Lijiang Tower so far. Ryan Zarya here for the team in blue.
Round one. Capture
And
the
the
objective.
red team running the Rhine. Arissa, yeah, looks like.
Yeah. You can see red team actually getting there first up onto the high ground. Aquatic over on the Reaper, which is not usually a preferred character for this man to play.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he'll do just fine. In fact, he finds that first kill on Obsidian Fury. I heard he's just charging up some kind of thing. And yeah, like a loot there, picking off Assassin, JBD, whatever the letters are. Nice work from the red team here. Firmly in control of this one, albeit
Yeah, so that was quite commanding from the DPS players over on Alweer Geboelie, and my Afrikaans is terrible. I'm never going to be able to say this. But okay, the fantastic wall sets up this fight though.
very nice. Soul Eater managing to take advantage of that now. Moving forward here is Toxic Crocs. Can Obsidian Fury find the damage? A nice charge in from Pale Native there, bypassing Obsidian Fury shots, but he does have his ulti now. Can Obsidian Fury find anything here? The Reinhardt with front line. Can he take advantage of the Earthshatter? He pops it down, catches Maestro with it. A beautiful play from Obsidian Fury, buying his team a berth onto this point. Like though, still alive, but no. Sanchin gonna beam his little butt down. and secure the point here for Toxic Crocs.
So just over a third of the way at 34% for Alweer Geboelie. However, we do see moving forward here, Toxic Crocs looking very, very good over here in the first fight. Or second fight actually, but first taking over point for them. Blur getting the code essence so early, and he's gonna get it again in this fight. Oh, the shadow!
Needs to come close to this ulti here. If he'd had it there, he might have been able to save his team, but 2 kills going the way of Alweer Geboelie. Make that 3. It's like Luke punishes Soul Eater's Reaper here. He gets another pick onto Blur, looking for a little bit more with the punch, gives it a love tap to the wall, and destroys Assassin JBD on his way out.
Yeah, that was an absolutely fantastic shatter coming in from Pale Native, and this is a new name to me, so seeing him be able to pull off something like that, getting 4 players in the mix for his team to follow up, also very good timing. But coming into this next fight out...
Oh, May ulti goes down from Assassin JDB here onto point. Is there enough follow-up? So far, it doesn't look like it. Oh no, has to reload at the most inopportune moment here. Sanchin does have his Graviton Surge. Can he find any purchase here towards the point? Alweer Geboelie playing nice and patient here, pulling back, not giving Toxic Crocs too much room to take advantage. So, oh, Obsidian Fury might have been looking for the shadow there. There's the grab. Swinging in now. Obsidian Fury. Shatter somehow not hitting Obsidian Fury there. Quite surprising. Hell Native now swinging around. He cracks the head of Toxic Crocs. Toxic Socks rather. Tox in Socks. Oh my lord. Doesn't matter what the name is. All that matters, Alweer Geboelie holding on here at 80%.
Yeah, this is last fight territory for Toxic Crocs, but you can see what's happening here. They are commanding the fight. Toxic Crocs needs to find a way onto the point. They need to start getting the picks because they're getting the CC. They're getting that in, but they're not finding the picks.
Like a Luke here. Here comes Obsidian Fury in. Like a Luke in the background. I heard the shadow go down. Double shadow. Nothing going down now. Finally, red team. Alweer Geboelie taking advantage of that. So far, so good. Oh my god. Top
Point in the back.
Oh my god. Not.
Oh my word.
But Alweer Geboelie still firmly in control here though, if they clean these skills up. But this means that the stagger now works in the favor of Toxic Crocs here. But I don't think the stagger is going to last too long here. The picks coming in. Assassin JBD trying to buy his team some space, but not long for this world. As Lykalu puts him to bed pretty quick now. Sanchin, he's next in the mix here. Can he get in? I like the way they're staggering these heroes out. Soul Eater is taken down by Lykalu here. Unfortunately not able to get anything else done. Clock is still ticking here. More Toxic Crocs. This is good for them if they can find this, but Aquatic might be sealing the deal here with a Death Blossom. He finds 3. Beautiful play from him. He finds 4 in Blur. He finds 5 in Obsidian Fury, and the point flips. Is there anyone from Toxic Crocs who can get in? Yes, there is. Aquatic. Sorry, not Aquatic.
Soul Eater.
Soul Eater gets taken down by like a Luke, and it's now the Lucio coming in. Toxic
How is this still
the
going
man,
on?
The Tox in Socks, the man himself, getting in the mix here. And he buy time for his team to get in. So far, so good. There's a monkey coming over the top here. Nora keeping her team healthy in this trying time as Luke gets the kill with the Meteor Strike in the background, and Aquatic makes his 7th or 8th kill in that particular team fight.
I just want to see how many kills these players have right now so early on. Tox coming in with a point recap flank. However, it was all in vain. This team is not able to get the picks when they're staggering in.
Yeah, really unfortunate there. Pretty strong showing there from Alweer Geboelie though, it has to be said. They look firmly in control of this match so far.
They definitely do, but moving over to Gardens of Lijiang Tower, I'm interested to see what Assassin JDB can do in the air. Of course, no support with a Mercy here, unless Tox is going to
switch, yeah.
Look at Tox, that's so smart. So, Assassin JDB could be instrumental to this. However, Aquatic and Toogle in the skies, these two players play for Omnius Gaming throughout the entirety of 2019, just about together as a pharmacy duo. This can be quite scary to play.
Aquatic finding the kills here down this corridor. It's gonna be just a matter of cleanup now for Alweer Geboelie. That fight finishing before it even really got started here. Now Farah in the skies so far. Aquatic not really able to take advantage of this, but more than cleared it up on the ground.
I find it quite interesting that we're going with the Orisa Wrecking Ball tank lineup over here for Alweer Geboelie, but it seems like it's working out for them, holding the line. We do need to see Toxic Crocs find a way onto the point, and Assassin JDB might have just opened that up for them.
Very nice play from him. They're moving Maestro off the bridge. Can Aquatic recoup that loss? A group of his own. Doesn't seem to find anyone. Almost getting rid of Blur there on the Moira. Speaking of which, his eyes look now closing in on that Coalescence. Getting lifted up. A nice in the backline here, but that's Aquatic with his ulti. But Assassin JDB on the case takes him down before he can really go down. Now, Assassin JDB does have his own ultimate. If he chooses to use it here, he might commit it to get rid of this Reaper on the point. So far, not choosing to do so. Whoops, gets through the window there. Maybe not what he was expecting. And could that actually make a significant difference here? That's Sonora with the Coalescence, putting them to work. Assassin JDB finally commits that ulti, but this is all favoring Alweer Geboelie here. In fact, as they come in and clean up with the strength of their DPS, Blur not likely to get out of this one unmolested and taken down by Aquatic at the end of that one.
So up 62% now. They're going to be ticking up to probably about 75% plus before there's another contest here. Assassin JDB switching over to the Widowmaker, wants to get the picks a bit sooner, and Toxin Socks opting for the Lucio. They know that they need to move in quite a lot faster. Sanction can probably get quite a lot of work on the Sigma here now as soon as the shield goes down, so I'm interested to see that. But oh my god,
the position here. Oh my god, look in the background. He finds one, he finds two. Pale Native with a beautiful follow-up with the mines. And so far, Alweer Geboelie looking uncontestable on this match so far, in this match.
Right now, Toxic Crocs need to find another route in. They need to find what's going to make it work. And I mean,
oh, that boom, I think.
Oh no, okay, the Hulk's almost got them, but they're not down enough just yet.
Not just yet. Obsidian Fury making the play for his team. They're touching in like a Luke. Gets rid of Tox there in a matter of moments, but Obsidian Fury gets a trade in on the main tank. Aquatic in the sky though, he's a real problem. Not being dealt with, and now the Reaper on the floor as well. Like a Luke, committing a lot of resources here onto this fight, but not able to get anything out of it is Toxic Crocs. Alweer Geboelie totally in control. Aquatic with the celebratory barrage. No, actually getting some value out of that as Tox comes in to touch. And Alweer Geboelie going to take a pretty convincing match one here.
So Lijiang Tower moving over. Of course, this is only the first match of this best of 7. Looking extremely good from every single player over on the red side. However, I do still think Toxic Crocs can bring this back. They're nothing short of fantastic themselves. I think they just maybe need to change game plans a bit, or maybe a bit of focus on the DPS players, because I mean, like Luke and Aquatic are getting a lot of value at the moment.
Yeah, it does seem that way. And even with, Aquatic seems to be a pretty reasonable replacement for I Am Condi, stepping into his shoes pretty nicely, providing a lot of pressure to give Luke the space to put in the damage by himself. We saw how the Fire Reaper worked out so well for them on that most recent point.
So, something from Toxic Crocs though is their support lineup is really, really good so far. I can definitely say that having Toxin Socks, of course, the name of the team, and Blur there. Blur definitely surprised me on support, playing extremely well, building up ult charge at an insane rate, which is super important, especially if you're in the Moira slot whilst Tox is more in the flex slot. I just didn't really get to see much of Assassin JDB compared to what I saw of him earlier on in the tournament. And I really want Obsidian Fury and Sanction to open up some space so that we can see the Assassin that we started off with. But we probably will, as we seem to be moving over to King's Row for our second map.
Yeah, King's Row coming up next. Just to fill you guys in, this is a best of 7, so we will be seeing at least 4 matches here, bringing us memories of the group stage. But I think, as you suggested, Toxic Crocs going to put up a pretty good fight here as we come into King's Row. What do you think needs to change for Toxic Crocs here? You mentioned Assassin JDB stepping up, but do you think there's anything else they need to do to take the fight to Alweer Geboelie?
I think it's mostly target focus that they need to find a way to improve on and dial down on exactly which targets they need to focus. They definitely have the target focus, but I don't think it's in the right place all the time. And I think that, if anything, that's something that Obsidian Fury and Sanction need to step up so that they can make the space so the rest of the team can follow up. And King's Row is a nice map for that. I feel that it's almost one of those maps that checks you. You have to play a solid game.
Kind of a yardstick map here, where if you're good on this map, you're probably good on most maps.
Completely. And Lijiang Tower, as much as it is symmetrical to both sides, some players do tend to be better, or some teams do seem to be better or worse in control maps. So moving over to a hybrid, this is where the fun starts. This is where the party's happening.
100%. I'm sure we'll see a little bit of runs out of both of these teams. We might even see a little Bastion. I know when Condi was on the team, like we saw in our bronze medal matchup, they do like to do the TP on top of the statue's head and play it from that angle. We'll see if Aquatic is able to execute the same way with like a Luke, but I'm sure they do have that in their arsenal.
Do you think it's something that they're actually going to use?
Well, they were using it a lot earlier. Like basically every King's Row, Luke and Condi were doing that. So
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised
Ready
if
for battle.
Aquatic, yeah, you see, although Aquatic on the soldier right now.
But I mean, looking at the defense, if we take a look there, Sanchin being a new addition, as you said, to the side of Toxic Crocs, who was the off-tank before him?
Well, it was Slick yesterday, but they've been having subs, and I don't think it's been the same person every time.
I will pass your
Okay,
feedback
I
on.
know
I'm
that
not
Slick
100%
played
I
on,
believe that you will be pleased.
he was
Imagine
playing
the worst
on
Mango
Mango
Juice,
wasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so he secured the third
Avoid
place. Okay, so Sanchin being in the grand finals now, of course, he does actually need to show up, being as this is his screen time. Over on the Sigma with the Orisa, I think this is a solid meta comp that we're going to be seeing here, especially with Tox opting for the immortality field coming in from Batiste. And
Do
this is
see,
exactly what you expected.
yeah,
Teleporter
do you see the
online.
TP there on the shield, on the head? I wonder if they were expecting it. A nice yoink, a nice,
no,
my god, pops him down. He's actually in an okay position though, all things considered. He's pretty happy being here. I'd like to see them put a Sigma shield in his face there, give him a little bit more cover, but they choosing to go aggressive here with Pale Native. Sanchin in the backline, Luke using his turrets there to put a little more damage. A nice rotation on the backside here for Toxic Crocs. Can they find the angle? They are losing control of the point though, and the shield. This war being won by Leica Luke and Alweer Geboelie. That Symmetra, unparalleled shield damage, unfortunately, for the side of Toxic Crocs. And it looks like they're about to get the cap here on first point, and they can get that Bastion set up. Luke massacring these poor fools on the way out. Oh, he's even going to go for the aggressive TP. Gonna try and follow up. He finds him. Beautiful play with
my
the
word.
squats as well. His booty going to be in perfect shape the way he's getting on top of Blur right now.
Oh my word, Leica Luke, please, they have families. Calm down. Okay, but looking at what we have here, something that I must say for Toxic Crocs is that the way that they played the sight lines to make sure that Aquatic cannot get all the value that he wanted there was very good. However, it was not enough. Of course, being trapped in a room with Leica Luke on any character is bad. Him on Symmetra's
yeah.
trapped in a room, that's the last thing you want to have.
100% TP going down. Yeah, how are they going to use it? Nice work from Aquatic. They're using it just to move around the map a little bit, just to remove himself. This Symmetra wall is perfect from Leica Luke. They get trade in, and he can just move back to the point whenever he wants. This is so good from Aquatic and Leica Luke, using that teleporter to perfection. Amplification matrix comes down now. Sanchin on the right, Toxin
Big damage.
taking it down. Sanchin moving forward now. He wants to get a few more kills here. Can they clean it up? Fight's not over just yet. Alweer Geboelie managed to recoup 2 kills here. The Gravitic Flux coming in from Pale Native. He pops down 1. He pops down 2. Make that 3 with the cleanup from Leica Luke. Alweer Geboelie not stopped just yet.
I must say, Pale Native has been impressing me the more I see him play. Very solid. I mean, looking at what the what the player composition is based on how skill rating divided teams, Pale Native must be one of the lower skilled players on the team, but he's by no means seems like it.
No, not at all. Now, running the corner, that amp matrix a little bit straight
Yeah, that's
on.
not the great one.
But he's still getting a few shots through it, especially if they're just going to rotate around in front of the amp matrix. They're going to bring value towards it. Aquatic just pumping the damage out. He's not even trying here. He's tracking down targets left, right, and center. Whoops, okay, never mind. Get on the clock. Nothing happened.
I have to give it to Zenora there. The immortality field that she managed to place, Aquatic had 0 health. He had 1 health. But
Yeah.
they didn't even have to heal him because there was a shield over the immortality field and they knew that they were perfectly fine. But here we go, another teleport strategy coming up.
Teleport,
And configuration
high
tank.
configuration tank, assassin, JDB on the mate, does pop his ulti. Did he hit the wall there again? Oh no, we saw that early in the day. And Leica Luke and Aquatic just cleaning up a quad kill there for Aquatic on the tank configuration bastion, and they made that look so easy.
That was very impressive, and honestly, from what we're seeing is Aquatic
Score.
and Lykaluk, of course, being the
0
star DPS
to
players
3.
for this team.
Switching
I have to
sides.
give it to Zenora and Pale Native for really stepping up. Zenora on the Batiste, extremely impressive,
Initiating
and
match.
I don't know if I'm much of a litmus test for this, but I find Batiste to be a little bit harder than the other supports, especially to line things up correctly. Seeing her play that really well is a really awesome thing to see. And Pale Native with the Sigma, his shields have been absolutely on point, keeping Aquatic alive. And that's also one of the things that you have to place. It's very important to place it correctly, and he's nailing those as well as his. I don't actually know the name of accretion. There we go, that one. Thank you so much, producer man, the best. But, anyways, moving back onto this. I mean, 4
Ready
minutes
for
34 on the clock. That's a lot of time.
That
That
is,
is-
a
that is
ti-
a
I
big
don't
time
think
bank.
I
The
can't.
government here has such a
I don't think they lost
medieval
any
view
fights,
towards
so I
armaments.
think that's about as fast as you can get it done on King's Row.
Attackers incoming in 30
Yeah.
seconds.
Are we?
So, neither team doing anything too crazy here, but both teams choosing to run the Hanzo here.
I'll enjoy the quiet while it lasts.
I've said it for the
Pharmacy.
third place match, and I'll say it again that I really like Hanzo in this environment. I think on King's Row as well, he can get to angles very easily. He has a lot of mobility,
5,
but
4, 3,
Storm Arrows is just so. It's such a versatile ability, and having a versatile damaging ability
defend
is something that
objective A.
I'll never turn down.
Yeah, definitely, and the mobility provides and the high ground control as well. Very useful hero to play here.
That's a huge help.
Let's see if they can get anything done here. Oh, a nice health, but a good Sigma shield from Pale Native there. Covering the
Obsidian
scene.
Fury not
So much
standing.
damage going in, oh my god. Obsidian Fury finds Pale Native though in return. Oh, Zenora does trade that out. Getting revenge for the off-tank player, but the damage going in from like a Luke in the sky here. Finally managing to, oh my god, what an early barrage. Putting it to
Like a Luke.
Assassin JDB takes him down, but he's brought back to fighting shape immediately by the resurrection from Toxic Socks. 2 goals.
Ich bin da.
But
Thanks for the
what?
assist.
What are you doing, like Luke? How do I have to give that to Maestro. He's the one who was applying all those healths that every rocket was hitting 4 to 5 players. But that's insane. That's absolute insanity. And now look at that, another huge health.
Big health there from Maestro. And Matrix coming down. You need to be careful now. Maestro trying to beat a hasty retreat there. From the damage coming from the opposite team. Assassin JDB has a good angle here. He's trying to build that ulti up. He gets it now. He's going to put it through the hotel. I think he'll get a lot. Good move. Putting it through the corridor as well there. Oh, there's somebody in the background. Aquatic pumping damage into Assassin JDB. He needs support from his team here. They've gotten a tick, but it's not enough to cap the sport just yet unless they can deal with this Aquatic in the backline. The Hanzo trying to get the shots in. Doesn't get him. Yes, it finds him. Finally, more damage going in. And suddenly an explosion of ultimates here. And Alweer Geboelie firmly in control of this point at the moment.
Like Luke having another rocket barrage. Aquatic going to be ready with the Dragon Strike for the next one. And
Ooh, that's a disconnect.
here's a pause. Let's see. But
That's a disconnect.
Hmm,
If I had
for
to
who?
guess. Two?
I-
Oh, it's
yeah,
Blur of all people.
Blur. Okay. Did Blur have ultimate there? I'm actually not sure.
I wasn't playing.
Okay,
Okay.
so about 84%. So this is a huge knock for Toxic Crocs because now they have to build up the entire Coalescence ultimate charge again. Sure, Coalescence is probably the fastest charging ultimate in the game, although like Luke on Farah would disagree with this.
Yeah.
But this is a big knock for Toxic Crocs, and with only 2 minutes left, I don't think we're going to see more than 2 Coalescences from him in this time, if he's lucky.
Yeah, if it's like if there's a drawn out fight in overtime, assuming they get there. So but if a difficult position here, at the very least though, they are regrouping anyway, so they don't have to wait for him to come to the front lines. So silver linings, but really unlucky, unfortunately for them. But hey, maybe this disrupts the flow a little bit of Alweer Geboelie. Maybe this is what they need, just to reset their mental a little bit, get in the hairs of Alweer Geboelie and take the fight to them.
Let's see how many levels of Yomi can we enter.
I don't know
So-
what that means.
Yomi is you think I'm going to do this thing, and I think you're going to do that thing, so you think I'm going to do this thing, I'm not going to do that thing. and every time you add onto that, you add more levels of
I
Yumi.
see. I
Yeah,
see.
That's
What is that a reference to? I mean, where is that
it's
from?
it comes from fighting games actually for when you're trying to outsmart your opponents,
Okay.
and it's a
Interesting. You must
yeah.
have taken pro now, eh?
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay,
so
back into the
all back in
fight.
the game.
Moving behind my buddy.
Let's see what unfolds here. Alweer Geboelie way on top of this one. Toxic Crocs. I mean, like Luke is just putting in so much damage over the top here. We're looking through the eyes of Maestro at the moment. He's probably going to hit a nice quick ult. He's going to get a lot of good follow-up. Here it goes. There it is. Oh my god. Followed up perfectly. Good communication between Aquatic and Maestro. They're comboing the Hulk and the LT. Can he get the cleanup? Yes, he can. Why did they even doubt him? Alweer Geboelie making it so hard for Crocs to get in here.
Yeah, so minute 30 left on the clock. Like Luke has another rocket barrage. He built up from what 5% to 100% there. Of course he did. But once again, I have to give that to the rest of the team, not actually to him. Sorry, Luke. I'm here to bully you. But okay, they actually want to go into Hotel again. I don't.
Oh
think
my
they can
god,
win.
the Hulk, so huge. Unfortunately, it was awkward for Luke to get the damage in there, but he still gets more than enough out of that to secure his team. This team fight in all likelihood now, punching damage over the shield. Unfortunately, not much Obsidian Fury can do from that position on the Orisa, and now he's gonna go for cleanup here around the corner. The movement from Luke here is so perfect, actually getting around the map, finding good angles, and Assassin JDB is deciding he's had enough. He switches onto the Widowmaker.
Yeah, he wants to get some kills in whilst there's still time to get kills.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what we get from him here, but the shields are just causing so much disruption to the game plan, although that's quite a nice May wall. They're opting to go through Hotel again. What do they want from this?
Not quite there. Assassin JDB, let's find the angle here. Blur. Oh my god, they're taking so many kills already. Sanchez in the sky, he gets the kill onto Pale Native with the help of the Coalition, but not enough at all. They're dropping like flies here on Toxic Crocs. Alweer Geboelie really putting the pedal to the metal here. Oh, you think for a second before I came up with a metaphor there, but it looks like they're not able to put damage in here or Toxic Crocs. Now it's just a matter of stall. There is an ulti coming through here. Dragon's going through, but not really gonna accomplish anything here. Aquatic more in control of this than is necessary. And Alweer Geboelie take another convincing win on this map.
Okay, so now Alweer Geboelie putting the Geboelie in the Alweer and the Alweer in the Geboelie.
Yeah, that's definitely what those words mean.
Yeah. Something I want to see from Soul Eater is a bit of a better positioning on the side of Toxic Crocs. There were a few times where his walls were very good on me, and there were a few times where he could get a lot of value, but he was just in front of the shields because the rest of the team is backing off, not quite in sync with the rest of his team. I think that maybe just having Toxic Crocs bring it together a bit throughout their entire roster, just kind of talk it out, clean out whatever might be going on. We don't know what the comms are like, but I can definitely see them still coming back. I mean, we're South African. We're very home. Wow, we are home to reverse sweeps. I can't speak.
Okay, I don't know what you're trying to say there, but let's see what our next map will be.
Well, what I was trying to say was that if Toxic Crocs lose the third map, then we're going to see them win the next 4 in a row.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so. That would be the drama we need here to light this finals on fire, which unfortunately has been dominated by Alweer Geboelie. We saw them take a very convincing 2-0 on Lijiang Tower, and now a very convincing full hold after a more than 4-minute push, or rather time remaining push on King's Row. We are going to be jumping into Watchpoint Gibraltar here. Cloud, what do you think we're going to be seeing?
I want to see Dive, but I'm not going to see Dive.
might.
That makes me sad.
You might.
Okay, I might. I mean, we did actually see Assassin play Genji not too long ago, didn't we?
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know if Soul Eater maybe has a Tracer. But if Soul Eater does, maybe we could see something like Dive, or maybe even like a Pharah Dive, something like that.
Yeah, we could definitely. Although I don't know how much we've been seeing Obsidian Fury play like the ball or the Winston. So really,
Yeah,
it's down
true.
to what the tanks can do more than what the DPS can.
Yeah, that is very true. So Gibraltar, of course, has a lot of vertical elevation, so I am looking forward
Arriving
to
at
actually
Watchpoint
watching
Gibraltar.
Aquatics Widow.
Hmm.
That is something that I think is definitely gonna come out at
Oh
some
my
point
god, he insta-locks it as well, although we haven't actually spawned in yet.
Initiating.
here. Instalocks Widow without even being able to.
Yeah.
That's Aquatic for you.
But we could also see a little bit of Bastion here out of these teams. Quite a popular pick on these payload maps.
We could definitely see a Bastion have a bit of a pirate ship going, and of course we can raise the double flag with either Orisa Sigma, or we could see a Ryan Orisa. So
Both
both of those
have
do
been
apply.
popular, yeah.
So yeah, it's very likely actually. Not too sure what we'll have until we see. So
Ready for
course.
battle.
so on the defense now, actually, this is what we get. So interesting support lineup of the Ana and the Batiste, and then we have the Bastion May along with the
Attackers
Sigma
incoming
Orisa
in
frontline.
30
Toxic Crocs has actually been
never
having a
thought
lot of
that we
success
would
with the
face it.
Honor, but it's usually Fluffy, I think, who plays it. But he's got a knack for getting a lot of good anti-heals in
Everyone
and making
signed
that
their
hero
life
really
insurance
work. So
policies.
it seems like something that typifies their squad. But let's see if they can do it without Fluffy in the mix.
What's quite interesting about their positioning here,
Attackers
they didn't opt to
Yeah.
go onto blue box. They want to just hold this angle.
The payload.
Oops.
Solisa, okay.
Yeah, getting a bit himself there. Okay, on the high ground here, we do see the Diva Winston. We did see dive, but not out of Toxic Fox here. Alweer Geboelie instead. Gonna try and make something happen rather. Aquatic. Whoa! We saw that first one. Don't pretend we didn't. Grabbing on the high ground, you're not able to get himself set up.
But look at this positioning.
That ball lucky to get away with that one as the damage was pumped in by Soul Eater. Now Maestro, not long for this world unfortunately. He couldn't stand up to the damage of that Bastion and Sanction. This team alive. Nice cover on Aquatic. He drops him down. Can he get the kill? Not quite getting the angle on that. Aquatic gonna make his way out. Oh, Hyperspears just not popping at the correct angle, and meanwhile his team dying behind him. Looked so good in the opening for Toxic Crocs there, but Alweer Geboelie just getting it out in the end.
Yeah, I have to give it to the amount of impact they're able to make with that first dive. A little bit of poking from Aquatic that they're focusing on, and then as soon as that dive landed, it was just absolute chaos on the high ground, and a fantastic anti-nade from Google as well.
100%. Here comes Lykaloo with his ulti frozen immediately. Can they get the kill on him? No, not yet. Yes, they Soul Eater cleans that one up. Now the Amp Matrix comes down, and the Nano Boost. This is a super damaged Bastion here in the backline, and finally Alweer Geboelie, for the first time in what seems like 100 years, is losing a team fight.
Double kill.
And it's something that I'm really enjoying. I'm enjoying the side of this quite a lot. If we take a look at what they have for the next fight, though, is we do actually have Configuration Tank. We are going to also have the Supercharger from Orisa with Obsidian Fury, and Sanction is not far off from his Gravitic Flux, which can completely turn the tide of battle. And even more so because if there's a help that comes in, you can get a Blizzard, you can follow it up. This could be beautiful.
Let's see what they can do. Luke on the high ground. Needs to be careful to get wrecked by the hold there. Oh, Assassin JDB takes down Aquatic. That's a one-shot kill, I believe, if the May gets the Icicle on the Tracer. No damage fall off. But now aggression in here from Maestro. Assassin JDB has a good angle here to punish the team. Let's see if he chooses to commit the Blizzard here. I don't think he should. I think
I don't think they're going to use any ultimates.
No, it doesn't look like it. They did use the Supercharger there. Oh, nice shot. Supercharger working in there as he takes down Tugel. Assassin JDB. Luke coming in from nowhere. Absolutely destroying him here. Now, he did manage to build up an ulti after that first one. Went a little bit awry there. Getting revenge for that by killing Assassin JDB.
Okay, so
Aquatic though.
yeah, Toxic Crocs bringing it back here, but Alweer Geboelie building up a lot of ultimates here. I must just point out that Sanction, a fantastic accretion onto Pale Native, making sure the stun goes through, no defense matrix, and that's kind of where the dive fell apart.
First coming in, Luke gonna commit his ulti as well. Obsidian Fury going down suddenly. Explosive play here from Alweer Geboelie. Like Luke, gonna look to clean up here Assassin JDB right at the end, and they're gonna get a nice clean push through onto point 1.
The payload.
Yeah, that was a very good dive from them using the ultimates. That was just efficient, actually.
Yeah.
Going to the next fight, they have the Primal Rage on Maestro, but nothing else. Meanwhile, now 5 ultimates coming up for Toxic Crocs, but they're just busy chasing Aquatic around whilst he's on the Tracer and like Luke on the Genji.
Yeah, Luke just playing with fire there, you know, the limits of this hero very well.
Look how far back they're standing. They are absolutely terrified right now, and the point is just pushing along. I mean, Tugel has pushed this point half the distance.
Unlucky there. Nice intelligent play from Assassin trying to use that cut Tugel off, but unfortunately not working out here. Here comes the flux from Pale Native, I believe Sanchin rather. He finds 2, both DPS eating dirt there as Pale Native, Sanchin, sorry, punishes them with the Geboelie flux, and he's gonna clean up here for a 4K for the off tank of Toxic Crocs.
So that was well played. Once again, they do still have another 2 ultimates. I love the patience that we are seeing from Soul Eater and Assassin right now, and that's not something that comes easy at all. So being able to hold back like that's super important going into the future fights. Aquatic still causing trouble on the Tracer though, and like Luke has yet another Dragon Blade.
Yeah, that Dragon Blade is going to be the thing that troubles them. Aquatic coming on the back here comes the Dragon Blade. Their pulse form went down as well, but a nice counter ulti from Assassin JDB. I think that's going to be the difference maker here. Luke not able to get enough done as Assassin JDB looks for the follow-up kill here, and if they get the skill on the Diva, they're going to get a nice big dirty stagger here. Oh, they freeze her up, tickle her, but they kill her so quick. Let her live, guys.
Let her live. Let Diva live. But I have to point out, that was just so well played. That Blizzard completely thwarted the fence coming in from Alweer Geboelie, and that's what you need in these situations. It looks like Toxic Crocs are actually finding their groove here. They're finding their footing.
Yeah.
The only ultimate coming up now is Zenora coming in with the Valkyrie, and then Aquatic with the Pulse Bomb.
Oh, Pulse Aquatic! 2%! What a sleep! Toxic Crocs! Touchdown Aquatic before he can drop the Pulse Bomb. Beautiful play from the captain and Flick support and namesake of Toxic Crocs. And Matrix goes down here, and the wall actually buying Toxic Crocs a little bit of time here to make some space. They do take down the Bongo. Looks like they want to get a little bit more aggressive here, moving just a step forward. Oh, big hold there, pulling them together. I hear the Pulse Bomb. It sticks on Sanchin, but doesn't take him down. HP dropping low here for Toxic Crocs. Aquatic getting so aggressive, but he needs to be careful. That Bastion covering the angle really nicely. Oh, Nano Boost on the Bastion.
He's gonna jump
Attack
up.
configuration, jumps over the top here, gonna put the damage in. He wants to get shooting his own Mei. I don't think he realizes he's blue. Finally, switching targets here. Oh, Aquatic though, on top of him. He needs to be careful. He's moving to point now. Gonna try and buy his team some time. See if they can get in there, but Aquatic needs to clean up on the Tracer. Gonna try and prevent them from getting in. The blink, the accretion, not enough. It looks like Alweer Geboelie finally gonna take point 2 here. The millisecond in overtime.
Yeah, that was a lot better from Toxic Crocs. I still feel maybe there was a bit more they could have done, but having Lightning Luke switch over to the Mei was a big difference going into that fight. Having the ability to freeze someone was monumental to their success. But once again, I feel like Obsidian Fury is actually standing too far back. I feel like they need to start taking space. They're not actually applying enough space.
Well, going down.
Blizzard is huge.
Blizzard is huge, but he's taken down immediately. Sanchin does have this Geridic Flux here if he chooses to commit it. Amp Matrix going down as well, giving Soul Eater a ton more damage here, and it looks like they're going to clean up this fight pretty nicely. Luke was raised here, but you've got to feel like he's just going to die. If Sanchin goes down there, Soul Eater going to be cleaning up though. Luke going to be backing out of this fight.
That health from Obsidian Fury was absolutely phenomenal.
Music. It's playing again.
Pulled so many players and they managed to pull that back after the res coming in from Zenora, who has now swapped over to the Lucio from the Mercy that she was playing. Wanted to pop the Valk and swap it out. So Tugel also over on the Moira now, giving them a bit more brawl.
Aquatic here, trying to make a nuisance of himself in the backline. I think that's probably... Oh no, not a good angle from Soul Eater. Has to he gets the Blizzard down, huge Blizzard. That gives a lot of space for Soul Eater to put the damage up. Soul Eater not quite hitting his shots here. Finally takes down Tugel on the Moira, and they're just not even on point.
That was fantastic.
Oh, I mean, I suppose they were all dead.
Yeah, no one there because they're all dead. Yes.
C9? C9? C9 in the chats?
C9? But I have to give it to them. Toxic
Initiating
Crocs really bring it
match.
together. You can see they needed the first 2 maps to warm up, but they're looking a lot better now.
I'm really impressed with the defense here. They look so much stronger.
So I'm a bit worried about their attack now, though, just because of what Alweer Geboelie can probably do on the defense. But it really depends what strategy or composition they go with now. Because I feel like they want to be cheeky.
They do seem to have that kind of confidence about them. This whole tournament, in fact, they've been doing some funky stuff. That leapfrogging strat on King's Road, not afraid to, let the DPS do some
Ready for
weird
battle.
ish and play whatever game they want. So just to see if that continues here in the grand finals. And so far it has. It has to be said.
I mean, looking at their defense lineup right now,
Attackers
Lycaluke going to be in the
incoming
sky
in 30
once again,
seconds.
alongside Tugel, who's
The
going to
true
be actually.
struggle is for the
Yeah,
superior
so this is the what they did on King's Row.
Maintaining
It's
connections.
actually the same composition they used in King's Row. Okay, Tox and Socks has disconnected. We cannot play without the captain of Toxic Crocs.
Yeah, perfect
That would
time
just
to
not be
DC.
okay.
He's very considerate.
Yeah,
He's in
so
between
considerate of
rounds.
everybody.
Yeah.
So I think one of the difficult things here is that there's multiple angles of attack for the sort, or multiple angles of defense because they're on the defending side. So Alweer Geboelie are able to attack both from multiple angles and the air, and then of course their tank lineup being very static with Maestro and Pale Native means that they have a central
time
place
to
of
act.
defense, but they have the rest of their players kind of in and around that center, which gives them a lot of space control. And I think that space control is one of the things that we've seen Toxic Crocs struggle with.
5,
So
4,
nice to see them taking the Bastion here, Blur over on the
attackers
Batiste.
incoming.
That immortality field has to be placed exceptionally well for it to work.
Yeah, it does. They're just gonna use the power chip we mentioned here at the top of this map. See if they can get it set up. There's a ton of damage coming through actually. A good hold. Try to combo that with a creation, use it a little bit over the top there. Looks like they're not gonna commit to staying on the card here.
Like Luke's angle.
Oh my god! This angle from Luke is so... Oh no! Didn't stand a chance. Soul Eater sniped with the scope on that flipping rocket launcher. Sniped the Bastion out and just moved on with his day like nothing ever happened. Sanchin
But
in the kinetic grasp here.
Assassin!
They can
He's
find
so
anything.
sneaky!
Oh my god, the cart is moving. Oh my god, the cart is moving. They haven't noticed. Is this really going to be this kind of push? Oh
Is this
no.
happening?
I don't think there's time. They're not going to get back in time.
No
They've
way,
noticed.
they just
Somebody's
noticed.
noticed. Oh. What a disaster.
Assassin JDB!
What a disaster. Oh
That's
my
not allowed.
god. You
That's
just need to
just
win
not
the team
allowed.
fight. Team fights are optional, guys.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, Toxic Crocs. This is your calling. Now you need to win these fights. And Blur does have the amplification matrix ready to go.
Yes, it does. Yeah, oh, like a Luke. Oh, sniped him through the closing door. What a monster.
Oh my, aquatic force
I'm
as well.
rifle barrage here. Maybe you should just play Widowmaker if he's gonna keep doing this. Oh, that's a huge anti-heal. Sanchin gonna take perfect advantage of that. Sniping Tugel with the accretion and picks up a triple kill with a nice flanking maneuver there.
That was extremely impressive. Just everything there just worked so well for Toxic Crocs. But is that going to be what the rest of Watchpoint Gibraltar is for them? Of course, map is not completed by the side of Alweer Geboelie, so if they complete it, they win the map.
Yeah.
Right now, Maestro moving in.
I wonder if that was Tabarnik. A nice wall there. Cutting off. Oh, this is a big Dragon's Aquatic. Gonna be punishing them now. It's his turn to take the angle on top of Soul Eater, getting him right in his blue split there. In the crit zone. Not feeling good about that. And now, gonna be trying to get Tox. Tox gonna win that duel with the help of Obsidian Fury here. Back though, he doesn't have the strength anymore. Not enough teammates for him to win that one out. Alweer Geboelie finally gonna stop the momentum.
So from Blur, they had to decide: do I heal my teammates, or do I fall and or do I try and get the kill? And it looks like he opted to try and get the kill, and might not have been the best of choice in those situations.
I
Coming
think
up
the
on
fight
ultimate,
was lost at that point, unfortunately.
So ultimates now for Toxic Crocs. It looks like they have about 5 in the mix, but there's lots of damage being applied to them. Sanchin! Accretion hits him so hard.
Yeah. Luke and Aquatic are taking such a oh my god, oh my never mind. I was gonna say something about them taking a really nice angle here, but Luke kinda just deleted the whole of Toxic Crocs.
Hello.
And time to reset
Hello.
and go back to the drawing board here.
Hello there.
I am empowered.
Okay, so ultimates up still. They're gonna have 5 ultimates. Sanction's just around the corner for his Gravisic Flux. And I think this is where we can see some tides turning for the side of Toxic Crocs. Alweer Geboelie, of course, Aquatic is gonna have the Dragon Strike as well after a few more hits. And oh my word, him taking out Tox this early. That's
They can't deal with these DPS. Luke and Aquatic are just absolutely in control of proceedings right now. Oh, I mean, just look at this. Luke over the top, deleting players left, right, and center. No chance for Toxic Socks. They even commit the May ulti assassin. JDB trying to make something happen. Oh my god, Luke, oh my god. It's a PG show, please.
Yeah, please come. Please, man. But, okay. I'm not too sure about Assassin throwing out the Blizzard. I actually thought he would maybe swap off to a different character. Not sure who. I do like him on the May. But that miscommunication spells doom for them with 2 minutes 15 seconds left on the clock. They really need to find a way to make things work.
Yeah, I think he did just want to switch. He's on. I think his hero was okay. I don't like the Bastion anymore. They gotta get rid of that ulti and then move through with it. So Assassin, JDB, trying to get him deflect, but Dramatic suited for that. Oh no! It's a disaster! The Gravitic Flux, but the Immortality Field making a big difference, but I think they've got more than enough damage to punch through. But this Barra is uncontested Luke. That's like his fifth or sixth barrage this round, it feels like. And nobody's able to get on top of him, especially with Tugel on his back with that Mercy. So that's for me what they need to deal with. They need to deal with Aquatic, they need to deal with Luke, and they got to take it from there.
Yeah, I think they need to just, well, right now, that's definitely what they need to do to win this. But right now for this fight, they need to just run up the gates, pop every ultimate they have, get onto the point, set up, and go. But they're not going to be able to do that because Blur falls at the start of the fight.
What can you do against this? They've got both. They've got every single choke controlled from the shuttle. The rest of the team doesn't even have to do anything if they don't want to. Aquatic and Luke completely in control.
Aquatic doing some target practice here. Minute left on the clock.
Oof. Assassin. Oh no, Assassin dropping low. Aquatic trying to track him down. You're fighting with a headshot. How did he do that? There's a nano boost here rather than amp matrix or soul eater, but it's not going to be enough. His teammates falling all around him, or rather buildings, and now finally Blur taken down by likely Luke Sanction. Not going to be able to find much here, but it's the Luke show. It's the Aquatic show. Luke deleting toxins from downtown with a directed on Sanction. No hope for Toxic Socks in that fight. Toxic Crocs rather.
Okay, so now no ultimates, a massive switch up on characters that are being played, but Assassin just playing way too aggressively. He's taking so much damage.
Oh, Aquatic finally goes down. Blur taking matters into his own hands there. Sorry.
Now Tugel's in a very bad position to get the res, but she doesn't go down.
Does anyways, and she gets out of there like she was never there, like a thief in the night. And Luke now alive, ready to fight, takes down 2. Aquatic res back in the mix, taking down the rest. These 2 DPS completely dominating Alweer Geboelie are.
Well, 3 maps up right now, 3-0, but best of 7 means they need 4. Is this where we see the reverse sweep begin?
It must be, right?
For Toxic Crocs?
What's an emote that rhymes with sweep? Spam this something for reverse sweep.
For reverse sweep. First thing that comes to mind is weep, but I'm like, that's not positive. That's just sad. You can't have that.
Spam this wheat.
Wheat. For the reverse sweet.
Yeah, for the reverse sweep. I don't know, guys. I don't speak good.
Reverse
talk
sweep.
nice. Yeah, so I mean that's what you gotta hope for. You gotta hope Toxic Crocs can find whatever it was that got them this far and put up a fight against Alweer Geboelie. The last time they played, the match was much closer. Admittedly, the rosters were slightly different, but still, I think, losing out on Condi is no small matter, but Aquatic, a more than fitting replacement in this case.
Mm.
Sorry.
And I mean, Aquatic and Luke also have, well, they seem to have quite a bit of synergy here. I don't know where it comes from,
No,
but it looks like they have it.
They play like people who play together a lot.
But looking at this now, moving over to the next map, which we'll know about shortly, The next one is another hybrid, I think. I can't
I
recall the order.
believe so. Hybrid escort assault. So we're heading into assault territory.
Okay, 2CP, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
You like-
so
you like
this
2CP?
is
Must
different.
be the only person.
Sorry?
Do you like 2CP?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, no.
Well, what type of question is that?
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. You know what this game needs?
Not
5
2CP.
CP. 5
5
CP.
CP.
5
5
CP
points.
was a TF2 mode, and that was the competitive mode. It was awesome. So,
Oh, but
although
that's
it did
what I
get a
mean,
bit
like,
stally.
yeah, that sounds fun, but I take it that's like shorter amounts of time.
It's just 2CP, but imagine this a map like 3 times larger and 5
Oh,
points
jeez.
instead of 2. But it's a tug of war map, so
Okay, I
cap
see.
one, you move on to the next one, and it's back and forth. It's not a tactic. It's like
Okay.
a mix between control and 2CP.
That sounds fun. That actually does sound fun. I'd love to try, like, or it would be
Oh,
nice
sorry.
if there was like a map editor for like more maps, so you could make more modes.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's true. A map edit is actually a good idea, but Blizzard wants to have a hand in every single thing that happens in this game.
So there was they wanted to have Hanamura, but they've swapped it over to Anubis. A little bit of sneaky play from Leica Luke.
Yeah,
trying
you
to worm
bamboozled
through.
me. My smooth, hard, dry brain can't keep up with Luke's intelligence.
Luke's intelligent. You mean his deceit? Anyways,
Sure.
Temple of Anubis. We've seen it once today already in the third place match that Mango Juice won. Are we gonna have another Junkrat for me to dislike? And not
I don't
enjoy?
know. You're hating on the Junkrat. I think the Junkrat's a pretty decent pick on this point. If you control it, and the guy we saw in control, large and in charge with the Junkrat on this map was Assassin JDB. So if anyone can make it work, I think it's him. And maybe that's what they need to do. Just get on their comfort heroes and execute properly.
Yeah. So if that's the case, I mean, Toxic Crocs now switching sides with Alweer Geboelie. So I mean, we're gonna see them attacking first, actually.
Yeah, Alweer Geboelie choosing the side here, and they want to defend first. They want to completely demoralize them with a full hold.
Initiating match.
Although I hope that's not the case.
I mean, what we could see is a complete sweep coming in from the side of Toxic Crocs, which sets the pace for the rest of the reverse sweep, as we will be going to a map 7 later.
Oh yeah, 100%. Hope you guys don't have anywhere to be, because we're about halfway through the series now. Should be done by about 8
We're at
o'clock.
the halfway point. You can
Yeah.
get your condiments over at the side.
Yeah,
We do have
exactly.
a drink
Take
stall
a
and some snacks.
short break.
You'll be here a while.
Short intermission here in this
Yeah.
performance that you're
Ready
experiencing.
for battle.
Well, to be fair, that it is 2CP. It is pretty much just one big intermission. As long
Wow,
as
this
the people are
guy
gonna
with
be-
no respect. Put
They're gonna
some
be holding
respect
his
on
points first.
GGP's name.
Attackers incoming
So-
in 30 seconds.
Assassin JDB on attack with the Junkrat. I understood it on defense, but on attack is something I'm interested to see. Maybe just for that shield break, son.
What an odd compliment.
They run it. He runs it. Any map, any position he can. he'll be
He's
running
just gonna
that
go
Junkrat.
Junkrat every time.
Pretty much on literally on
Your
2CP.
ignorance
Paragon
frightens
could
me.
attest to this if he was talking, but basically just runs it all the time. Other than the time he runs the Ash and they lose, obviously. That's the only time he doesn't run
So
it.
you're saying that Junkrat equates to wins?
Defend
For Assassin JDB, it seems that
No
way.
need to mess about.
Okay, that's a very early accretion from Pale Native, trying to catch someone out, but it's going to be off cooldown by the time they get back to the fight. Aquatic over on the Widow is going to be quite an important one to watch.
We saw somebody, I can't remember who it was, playing the Ash instead of the Widow, holding that same bridge there. I wonder if he's taking a leaf out of his book. He's just gonna make an extremely long range rotation here and just look down the long sidelines. Not sure what they want to do here. Assassin, JDP gonna be pumping in the damage here. More Toxic Crocs. Gonna be trying to win that shield war, but it should be noted that both teams running the junker here. No shield there for Obsidian Fury. Needs to be careful now. A good hold brings him into danger, and they do use the immortality field. Early ulti from like the Luke here. So didn't get it over here. I think this could be game over for them. Oh, good patience there. Moving it around the shield. Taking down most of, finally opening the door there for Alweer Geboelie to get aggressive. They do just that. Luke finding 4, and a Aquatic cleaning up Assassin JDB at the end there.
Okay, how is Luke building ultimate charge? How? What is going on?
Good at the video game, man.
This is absurd.
Oh no! Aquatic
one
with the
can
spawn
hide
camp.
from my
Even has the time to
sight.
kill the immortality field and then deletes toxic stuff on his way out of spawn. And now he's putting Assassin JDB under pressure. He finds the kill through the sliver he could see. Now he's in control again. Just looking at the way the DPS are controlling this game so far.
Okay, there's another immortality field. Look at how carefully they have to move their players just to get past aquatic sites.
I thought Widow was supposed to be bad in this meta, Cloudless. What's going on?
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that, but that's the prevailing wisdom. Also, can we comment on how there's a shield up here? Oh, it pulled down finally! Oh no, the grapple! Not quite working out. Toogle! Look, if they haven't noticed him! They haven't noticed him! They did all the hard work and just ignored him. What are we watching?
Oh no! Guys, you're meant to get the kill when he falls.
Oh my god. They did the hardest
Not as
part
good as new.
and they just let him kill someone. And he's still alive, by the way. I don't know where he is or what he's doing, but he's being used in some way. He's getting kills on Soul Eater as he comes out of spawn. These poor boys.
He's in the back again!
Of overcoming this. He's in the back line here. Just shooting people in the back of the head. Finally, though. Red team getting some kills here. Assassin JDB on the Junkrat, putting the damage through for his team. A trap there. Nice catch onto Pale Native. Can they finally make something happen here? Was that move from
There's
Aquatic?
another Riptire though!
Riptire.
Oh,
Oh
the shield
my God.
dancing!
The shield is barely saving Assassin's life here, and he follows up with a thanks for a kill on Like Luke there in return.
Okay, we're moving forward.
What are we watching here?
Fire. You'd be wise.
I don't know, but I'm enjoying it.
No.
There's no way I can ever assume about what's going to be happening, but
First sweep starts here. Oh my god, they're feeding as well. They're coming in to try and do what? I don't know. Toogle, low HP here. Obsidian Fury with a good. They're all dead. They're all dead. Get to point. Get to point. Why did they? I don't understand. Overconfidence? Maybe Luke has switched onto the Pharah now. A pretty good move for controlling them. And actually,
Oh, but-
now that I think about it, with the way they changed the spawn,
I was about to say the spawn changes.
and actually maybe it wasn't as bad as it looked, but they did feed a whole lot of ult charge there to Alweer Geboelie. Oh, sorry, Talon.
So let's start the fight.
Yeah, looks pretty good. Bongo's down as well. There's a Doofus in the backline here, which nobody seems to have noticed except Assassin JDB. Finally taken down. Let's see if they can get any follow-up. A nice kill. Like Luke shuts down Assassin JDB's Riptire. Immediately, he's got a barrage. Took him all 2 seconds to hold that, and he puts it to good use straight off the bat here. Assassin JDB, alive and kicking, gets the kill in return. But you've got to think, with the way the spawns work on this point, he doesn't stand a hope in hell of bringing his team back to this one.
This is so unfortunate for Toxic Crocs.
Activated.
Just, I honestly think, I mean, Sanshin just covered so much ground there and so much space. He fortified the punch coming in from Aquatic Doofus, and it could have been.
Oh my god, what is this?
What is he
Running with
doing?
his lifelines now. Overcommitting. Oh no, he's not.
Nah, he's
He
gonna
knows
back up.
exactly where to how far he got with that video strike.
Oh, Gear Strike gives distance, man. That's crazy.
That hero is so bad.
Balanced as all things should be, son.
Yeah.
Okay, Soul Eater is going to be having the Death Blossom for the next fight, and Toxin Socks is just got. Oh, no, does not get on. Aquatic gets out of there, but Gravitic Flux.
Okay, Geboelie
That's
Flux
Blur
coming
four.
here from Pale Native. A nice immortality field there from Blur. Keeps his team alive. And Matrix coming up, but there's an Aquatic in the backline here. They need to be careful. It's just expired. Oh no! Goodbye, Blur. And no Matrix going down. Actually, he did pop
Nice,
the
Assassin.
But I mean, who cares?
Oh,
1, 2,
three.
3. 1 punch, 2 punch, 3 punch. Game over. Aquatic wins that one pretty much all by himself. Although, admittedly, Toogle did shoot Soul Eater's brain out there.
Toogle making sure that she's on the kill feed as well, as we do just have Aquatic batting away. 1, 2, 3, you're out. Taking down the strikes, and like Luke, already ready to go with another ultimate any second now for the Rocket
Yeah.
Barrage. Obsidian Fury could make a lot work if he even survives this point in a small push here. Matrix.
Long range DPS, they can't actually make a good initiation here. They can't move in. This time, Assassin D. Oh my god, Aquatic. Right in the mix here. He's just gonna walk away. Make the wrist, walk away. He's in control. He knows what he's doing. Finally, Assassin takes him down. Punishes him for his insolence, for his over-aggression, and now they're gonna be able to move forward. Luke, oh no, it's game over, boys! Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a quad, take a fifth. Where's the sixth?
Oh my gosh, that's all of them. That's all she wrote.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And that was all Maestro. I mean, credit to Luke, obviously, but Maestro with the perfect hold there to set him up.
Completely.
They just
Maestro
weren't.
working so well.
As they come in, Sanchin has to resort to the ball to try and get in here. They haven't got a single tick here on the second point. Aquatic, of course, doing something in the back there. Who knows what's going on? All I know is that he's in the kill feed. Oh my god, he's back. Maestro stopping on the point. 45. Stopping him in the
Solid is getting value.
They flipped the point here a little bit. Sorry, flipped the momentum, but with the respawns, I think they'll be fine here. Luke's still alive. There's nowhere to deal with him, although he's flying quite low. Tuga with this res. Hello? Okay. They just let him get the res. Let him get the res off there. Now, the respawns are going to come in from Alweer Geboelie here in the blue. They're just going to start cleaning up one by one. Somebody's back here. Obsidian Fury on that round. He does have a shadow. Can we see him get the space? Tuga take it down. Shadow. Okay. Talon native. Taken down. Oh, not quite yet. Yes, finally a good follow-up. Assassin JDB, but Luke's back. The big, bad, final boss. Cleaning up proceedings here. Luke and Aquatic. It's all over but the crying, I think, for Team Toxic Crocs here. No hope left. Can they get anything? No. Assassin JDB, they're not touching. Overtime takes away. And Alweer Geboelie hold here on second point.
Okay, so pretty much match points right now.
0.
And Toxic Crocs, if you're hearing this, now is the time. This is when you need to start winning the game.
Well,
They're not playing the game. I believe
they
in
win this, they have to full hold. Otherwise,
yeah, completely. It's going to be an absolute slugfest. They have to get through so much. It's
although that said, if they do draw, the game is not over. They'll play it out and see if they need a tiebreaker at the end. So a draw will be enough to keep them in here, but you don't. That's not how you want to start a reverse sweep.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah, you don't want to give yourself more work for a reverse sweep.
Well, maybe that's what they need. Strength through adversity.
Oh, it's true. Let's get some metaphorical stuff up in here.
That's me, Mr. Metaphor.
Mr. Metaphor.
Ready for battle.
No. Nothing I say has any meaning.
I'm gonna quote you on that in the future.
Oh god. Oh god. Clip that. Clip that. Clip
Someone
that.
clip it.
Delete the VOD. Delete the VOD, please.
Incoming in 30 seconds.
Talon Cup 2019 Grand Finals never happened.
No. Oh god. Not to discredit these teams. These teams worked really hard to get you. Toxic Crocs making it all the way through the group stages. Second place to Alweer Geboelie, and it looks like that's how the Talon Cup's gonna go. But what am I talking about? We're gonna witness the most incredible reverse we've ever seen.
I believe in you guys. I really do. Soul Eater on the Bastion, on the high ground.
Attackers incoming.
Assassin JDB opting for the Symmetry here.
This is not a defense we've seen yet this tournament. It used to be very popular back in the days of sort of single shield.
Oh wait, they're both doing
Oh
it!
my god, they're both doing it. What is this?
Oh wait, what is
Flipping
happening?
Star Wars here on the platforms.
What timeline is this?
Laser beams pew-pewing across the high ground here. Okay,
Soul Eater finds one!
comes out of top. Assassin with those slow-moving symmetrical projectiles also finds one. Not quite sure how he managed that, but in control, large and in charge is Toxic Crocs. Although, yeah, there we go. Shield comes down.
I did not expect this whatsoever. I'm impressed and terrified at the same time. I know huge
Gets awkward
lights
once they get on the
appreciate-
point here.
Hell, it is
Oh,
down.
Toxic Socks goes down. Hell Native, sorry, taken down by Toxic Socks, but here's where it gets awkward. They just sit underneath and cap trickle by trickle, but nice, very clever play. Just move across here onto the other side, get a really good angle, but I suppose they could do the same on the other team. They're gonna get a tick here though, like a Luke on the Symmetra, in a position to protect it. They need to move back across here. I don't think they know what's happening. The ticks are going by. Toxic Crocs need to respond. Toxic's dropped down. Now the team has to follow. Luke gets him covered. He needs to be careful. They need to deal with these people on the point or they will lose. Toxic Crocs, Luke picking them off one by one as they drop. Finally, Soul Eater, but now right, perfectly moving in between, taken down is Assassin JB DJ. I love that.
JB there.
What a disaster.
It was an absolute disaster. They can't do that. That's if you're going to execute that strategy, you have to have a plan to drop down. You need to be able to get every single
But the thing is, they didn't even have to drop down. They could just teleport back across the other side and get the angle on it. Oh, very aggressive play here. Cloudburst coming in here is Alweer Geboelie with their own TP, but it looks like kills going the way of Toxic Crocs here so far. A nice wall. There's a TP in here from the Reaper right on top of them. Takes down Aquatic with his ultimate. Assassin JDB. Big balls on this boy getting right on top of the enemy Bastion here. Cleaning up the rest of the kills as well. Nice TP forward here. Gonna find Tugel. Yes, he does. Good play from Assassin JDB there. Bailing his team out a little bit.
Okay, so 4 minutes 30 left on the clock. It's not much. It's honest work. Just a single tick is all that's needed for Alweer Geboelie.
Yeah.
But Toxic Crocs are going to do their darndest to keep this one alive.
Assassin on the high ground there. He's not near his ulti, unfortunately. That might be a good way to buy themselves a team fight win, but you gotta fear Luke's symmetry here. They could end up anywhere. Quite still on that Bastion. Sanchin though does have the gravitic flux if they choose to use it. And I mean, he really doesn't have much of a Diva out here as well, rather interestingly. Very aggressive move from Pale Native. Sleep going down here. That's not a good way to start the fight from Alweer Geboelie here, but a good move from the point of Toxic Crocs. They might not have to commit any ultis here. I'd like to see them hold on to pretty much everything if they can afford to. Somebody's moving around the back there. High ground defense, or rather high ground maneuver from Aquatic there. Not enough to take care of Sanchin. Really nice work from Toxic Crocs. They're very efficient.
Yeah, that was... This is very good. They're actually going to be up onto 6 ultimates. The Diva with Pale Native and Zenora over on the Lucio are quite far away from theirs. So it's going to be 4 ultimates versus 6. So if they need to pop all of their ultimates, especially in defense, they can. They have that ability. And they're not going to do that unless ultimates are being spent from the opposing side as well.
Like Luke making space for his team. That's a big ulti, but a nice shield put down. He's taking a nap now. Needs to be careful. Taken down very quickly. Good work from Toxic Crocs here. Luke still alive. They're pumping the damage in from behind the shield, but Assassin JDB putting in the work on his own accord. Maestro taken down now on top of Luke. Takes him down in a matter of moments. This Reaper, the Hellfire Shotgun, putting in a ton of damage for Toxic Crocs.
One thing I wish they did there was stall not just the Baby Diva, but also Tugel on the Mercy. But even without doing that, they only spent 2 ultimates there with Obsidian Fury and Blur. So...
Dichotomy favoring Toxic Crocs here. They've been so good using the Solomon. Here comes Assassin JDB in the backline. He's got the Reaper ulti if he chooses to commit it. I don't know where Pale Native is, but he's not covering Assassin JDB. Finally gets that Matrix on top of him, but it's too little, too late. He's already massacred your poor boys, and it's going to be another rout for Alweer Geboelie.
Okay, so back down to 2 minutes. That means that we are halfway through. Over halfway, I mean they had 4 minutes and a few seconds here. So this is starting to look quite good for Toxic Crocs. Especially seeing as it's only Maestro and Pale Native that currently have the ultimates on the side of Alweer Geboelie. So
Maestro a bit ahead of his team here as they come through. Pale Native, sorry, Sanchin does have the gravitic flux as well as the May ulti.
Oh no, out of position. Alone and scared,
that's a big kill. That's a huge kill. Now they're definitely going to have to commit ultis here to defend this one. On the side of Toxic Crocs here. They don't know where they're coming from. They're coming from underneath. They came from behind. Be careful. Soul Eater is going to have to commit the May ultis. And he's coming. No. Pale Native Tugel gets the Mercy Blaster out to take down Toxic Soul Eater not committing his May ulti here. Not really sure what he wants to do. Finally puts it down, but he's such low HP. I don't think he's going to be able to take advantage of this. But with the respawns, maybe he's buying enough time for the team to come in here. Fire in the hole. Comes out Aquatic. Takes out 2 as they come in. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, your Talon Cup. Am I right about that, or am I jacking the gun here?
I think you're right.
Yeah, okay. Talon Cup 2019 champions
Play
with
of
a
the game.
4-0 clean sweep over Toxic Crocs. Alweer Geboelie stamping the authority on the South African scene, I want to say, even though that's not quite true. Like a Luke, Aquatic, standout performance in this particular match. Beautiful play from Alweer Geboelie. Unstoppable.
Completely unstoppable. I mean, it was there were so many times that I could just see the team play from Toxic Crocs just light up. It just
Impeccable.
illuminated. It was there. But regardless of how bright it shone, the shadow that Alweer Geboelie was able to put over their light was monumentally bigger. So 4-0 sweep, quite convincing from them, but still very, very well played to Toxic Crocs. And I must say, very well played to everybody throughout the entirety of the Talent Cup 2019. It has been absolutely awesome seeing the community come together like this.
Absolutely. It's been awesome to take you guys on this trip down South African Overwatch scene, players up and down the SR brackets. We've seen some excellent performances. It was awesome to see the likes of Assassin JDB in the finals, a guy like JRV26 standing out. You also pointed out Shadows in a previous match. Pale Native as well. A lot of players we don't really know that well, showing their skills, proving themselves alongside the likes of the more established players like a Luke, Aquatic, and Condi. Really awesome to see. But before we sign off for the last time this weekend, Parent needs to sleep. Parent needs to go to bed. He needs to rest his poor little bones. But before we get there, we need to pick an MVP for the match. And you know what? I'm going to make you pick an MVP for the tournament as well, just to punish you for sniping the finals.
The final snipe has got me into trouble now. Okay,
Yeah.
so for this match, I'm honestly like away from like Luke and Aquatic. Of course, they popped off, but I'm not going to give them MVP because we know that they are
Wow.
the we know
Biased
that they are the
casters.
high. Yeah,
Biased casters.
this is not bias. This is my this is my personal thoughts. Is that we know that they were going to be the powerful. They were going to be the powerhouses for the team, right?
Mhm.
We knew that they were going to be the ones that were going to impart their knowledge to the lower SR players. But the player that I think I saw the most influence in fight wins has to go to Maestro. I can't not give it to Maestro. Those halts were fantastic. His fortifiers were on point, and he was so good at taking space. I think he's going to be one hell of a player to look out for in 2020.
100%. Maestro is currently playing for, I want to say, a team.
18.
A team. He's playing for Evo. He played for them last year and he is still playing for them. So that's just as far as we've confirmed. So a player to look out for in that main tank position, like you say. I agree with you. Maestro was a stand-up performer, but I mean, fuck it. Like a Luke Aquatic, either one. I don't know. Who cares? One of them's MVP. They control that game as much as it is kind of par for the course. You have to give it to them. They played. They really just absolutely dominated this series.
Yeah. So moving over to for the entire tournament, though,
Mm.
I'm just going to point out one player. And this one play decides the whole thing. It's there's no contesting it. I disregard anyone else's opinions. I am the authoritative point for this, and it's got to go to the Gibraltar attack May play, the sneaky push all the way through to first point. That was MVP for the tournament. Is Alweer Geboelie and not being able to look at the payload for one.
Yeah.
But I'm quite sure that was Assassin JDB over on the May.
It was.
Or it was Solid. No, I'm quite sure it was Assassin JDB on the May.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the sneaky assassin. And having the balls to attempt that and having the absolute gall to accomplish it is really what makes him deserve Talent Cup MVP from my side.
You know what? Unironically, jokes aside, I actually 100% agree with. I think you have to give it to one of the players that made it all the way to the finals or to the bronze medal matches, and I think it's in the spirit of Talent Cup to recognize some lesser known players. So, Assassin JDB to me fits the bill perfectly. From the very first game we watched, Paragon and I, between Oink and Yoink and Toxic Crocs, he was a player that stood out on the DPS role. You're a Junkrat hater, but his Junkrat was very impressive that first time around. In the next semi-final as well, as they clutched their way through Poggy Woggy, I think he's very deserving of our tournament MVP here. If you guys in the chat, you don't agree, that's cool. Anyways, moving
No,
on.
I have to agree with you there. That's um,
Thanks for
it is
joining
in the
us.
spirit.
Yeah, no, go for it.
I was gonna say it's very much in the spirit of Talon Cup. I'm just doubling down on what you were saying there. So,
Yeah, awesome.
but you can call us off now.
Yeah, so signing off. Thanks so much. I know you're a bit babalas there, my boy. Time for a nap as well. Paragon sleeps as well. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. It's been an awesome weekend of local Overwatch. Shout out to everybody involved, starting with me, last but least. Thanks for casting all of these goddamn games. It was so much fun. Thanks for joining us in the chat as well. YouTube, Twitch. It's been really nice to have you guys around. Thanks to all the players, especially all the subs who stepped in at a moment's notice to help these teams and make sure the tournament ran as smoothly as possible. Big ups to all my co-casters as well. Authorize who stepped in, Cloudburst as well towards the end. Trinok popped his head in for a game here and there, just the one game in the semi-finals. But thanks so much for joining us. Paragon, especially for his help with the production. He was here for every game, whether you could hear him or not. He was the person handling all the bits, all the things that needed to go down. Everything that went right on stream was him. Everything that went wrong on stream was something else. I don't know what happened. Uh, but I think most importantly, shit, if I'm forgetting anyone, I'm sorry. But most importantly is Blur. He really stepped up here for Talent Cup 2019. Everything that went as smoothly as it did, every match happening on time, all those subs that had to come in and replace these players, that was all Blur's baby. Really, really thanks to Blur. If you have to thank one person, send him a DM, hit him up on Twitter, whatever it takes. Let him know that you appreciate all his hard work as we do. Before we sign off, though, once more, congratulations to Alweer Geboelie, our Talent Cup 2019 champions. And before we go, let's pimp our socials. Cloudburst, where can we find you on the internet?
On the inter of webs, you can find me on Twitter. I'm there most of the time under JM Cloudburst until Cloudburst is available.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, everyone. You can catch me there or on the competitive Overwatch South Africa Discord because I'm also always there.
100%. My name has been Sun Phoenix at Sun Phoenix, SUNPHEONYX on Twitter. You can follow me there. I tweet a lot of nonsense, but also a lot of local Overwatch stuff if you want to get in the know about that. Paragon, you can find at Paragon Sleeps on Twitter. He tweets a lot of nonsense as well on Twitter, but also a lot of local Overwatch stuff. At ZA Overwatch, that's your hub for anything ZA Overwatch related. Any matches that are going on, we'll be casting. That's where you can find all that information. Things like Talent Cup, any way to get involved in community activities at ZA Overwatch. Kauza on Facebook as well. Look it up. You can find all that information there. And yeah, thanks so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an awesome tournament. We look forward to seeing you for the next one.